All right. We are live. How's it going, everybody? Let me know if the audio quality is okay. Everything's looking and sounding good. Your sweet Papa Yam had to set up the live stream rig again because I'm back in Austin, baby. Back in Austin. But I'm always a sort of disembodied head wherever I am, you know. We have 12 viewers on chat right now. Hopefully it will increase. This is episode 20 of the Yammie Noob live stream. Very excited about that. Perhaps the chat is coming in a little bit slower. There we go. We got somebody. Black Sheep. How's it going? How's it going? Concurrent viewer thing must be dragging a little bit. I think it always does if I remember correctly. Very excited to be doing another stream, boys. How's it going? How's it going? I have a very fun story for you guys as we jump here on the pre-stream hangout. Danny coming in saying the correct opinion there that riding weather is firmly back. It is so back, baby. It's so exciting to finally have that 70, 80 degree weather here again. The riding season is basically here in the South, and it will continue for the rest of the country, hopefully. Very, very excited. Whoa, got lots of people coming in. Let's see here. Lots of questions, lots of comments. Boys, I gotta tell you about two really funny stories. I'll tell you the first funny one, just so you guys know that it literally happens to the best of us. And this is why I tell you that dropping a motorcycle is like, it's like I don't know if it's just me being clumsy, but I do it once a year on a bunch of different bikes. So I'm here in my new Skunk Works office in Yammie Noob. More details on that to come. And I park the Touareg in the front of the shop. And I'm not familiar with the area. Bike theft in Austin is a little bit, kind of crazy. And the garage was super full. I wasn't able to pull the Touareg into the shop. And I was like, oh, okay, let me just put a disc lock on the front. Noted, I never put a disc lock on the front of my motorcycle, right? I never put a brake disc lock on the front. So I put it on, I go inside, I am just like really just working hard the whole day, and about like 7 or 8 hours go by, and I'm like, all right, time to head out. I head out, and I do my normal riding procedure, right? And I put the key in, I warm up the bike, I get my gloves on, I put my helmet on, I swing a leg over the machine, and I'm like, cool, clutch in, put it down in first, I take off, and the front wheel just tucks, and the bike just falls over. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? You guessed it, I left the disc lock on the bike. So, yeah, embarrassing. Happens to the best of us, though. Ugh. But the good thing is it's an adventure bike, so a little bit of patina never hurt it, right? So, yeah, if you guys out there have dropped your motorcycle recently, don't feel bad. It happens to the best of us. The second story I wanted to regale you guys with as we wait here on chat for people to come in. You guys may have seen the last couple of days I dropped the video saying the bikes I regret selling and buying. And in that video, I did say that I regretted selling my Daytona. I checked in on Discord this morning, and on the Track Days channel, there was a user that said, hey, the Daytona is actually for sale. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? The Daytona's for sale? So I check on Facebook Marketplace, and sure enough, my Daytona, the same one that I sold to the gentleman that I sold it to, was for sale by that same gentleman. So I sent him a message. I was like, dude, my bike's back for sale. What's up? What's going on? Turns out that he had some health complications, wasn't able to ride the bike, but he had done a fuel filter on it, and I think one other thing, just getting it ready for maintenance. It didn't need much else. And he was like, yeah, so I'm selling it. And I was like, dude, I'm going to buy it. So, yeah, he and I have struck a deal, and on Saturday, picking up my Daytona once again. Very excited about this. The Daytona's going to make a comeback on the channel. He didn't even ride it. So to me, it kind of feels like it's the sword and the stone type of situation. Only I am able to ride my beat-up, clapped-out Daytona. So very, very pumped on getting that bike back. Very, very pumped. So video dropping on that probably in like 2 weeks. I'll make a fun dedicated upload about it. If I'm somehow able to make it up to the track with it, I'll take it out for a quick rip on track so you guys actually see it POV. That'd be really fun. So yeah, I am very, very pumped that it's coming back. I see some people in chat saying that's wild. It really is, because I just made the video being like, oh, I miss it. I wish it was for. I wish I could get another one. I never in my wildest dreams thought that my literal Daytona would come back. So yeah, dropping that Gixxer like a fucking hot potato. So yeah, let's see what you guys are saying on here on chat. Somebody said, just adding character, had too many disc lock incidents. Dude, I never use the disc lock that often, and so I feel like I really got to remember when I use the disc lock. Colton said, at least you didn't somehow lose the kickstand. I've never done that, but someone somewhere has. Yeah, I have done that many, many times, unfortunately. I've done the one where you're moving the bike with the kickstand down, and it like catches like a little rock or something, and it just flicks the kickstand up, and you didn't notice it came up, and then you just dump it. I've done that at least 3 times in the 10 years I've been riding. Ooh, Logan PNW. Thank you for the $1.99, my friend. Says, predictions for opening round MotoGP, not Marc Marquez. I mean, I think given the the testing data we saw at Buriram before they go, I mean, Marc's basically a shoe-in to win. I'm really upset that Jorge injured himself again and will not be able to ride. Marco Bezzecchi, I think, will surprise many of us. And just because I'm a Yamaha fan, I'm going to say Fabio somehow scores a podium. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. That's my predictions. Nikolai says, what's the fate of the Gixxer? You know, I haven't figured that out yet. It's at the shop right now. I'm waiting to get it fixed. I say at the shop. My buddy is fixing it for me. My buddy Jeremy, if y'all saw the stunt video, Jeremy, who is doing the woolies with me on the Grom, he's an aspiring mobile mechanic, and I was like, dude, take a crack at my Gixxer, man. Like, just go ahead and see what you can do with it. Have some fun with it. I was like, take it out on track to test it out real good if you want. You know, we'll figure some stuff out. So I'm going to get it tuned up, riding well. Beyond that, I don't really know. I might keep it around to kind of do some comparison videos with it. Maybe I'll do like an ultra short track day giveaway. I've heard people wanted me to do like a track day giveaway. So maybe I'll do like the bike, the stands, the tire warmers. Maybe I can throw in a suit or something. Get somebody like started with track. I mean, that'd be interesting. I've never done that before. So people ask me about that. So I think that's what I'll do. Sean said, I got a bike and need gear. Will someone donate? Jordan says, is this actually live? Yes, it is live, my friend. Of course it is. Sean, seize the means of production. Get your own gear. I'm just kidding. If someone wants to help out Sean here, get himself some gear. We want to see people riding safe. Why did you get a bike and no gear? Got to get some gear, my friend. Got to get some gear. Let's see. Jordan says, my bike won't move with the kickstand down. That's good then. It's good to move it with the kickstand up, then you know that it's up, and then you got to put it back down. All right, boys. Why don't we get started, shall we? That sounds like a good idea. Let's begin with rider questions answered. Let's do it. This is a lot of fun. We love doing this one. If you have some questions you want me to answer on the stream, you can pop them over there. I do try to watch the stream. Sometimes it's difficult to answer the questions, thoroughly think about them, and look at the stream. But we'll do our best. Let's get started. And of course, if you want to ask me any questions that aren't on stream, join on yammie-noob.co, become a member, get the Discord access. It's a ton of fun. Richard says, much love from Canada. Love your videos. Thank you, my friend, for the $5 Canadian. All right, let's take a look. WL's lifts. How much potential does CF Moto have for brand competition in the future? This is something that's really blowing me away lately with CF Moto. They're doing the stuff that I legitimately want Japanese manufacturers to do. They're coming out with new engines all the time, exciting new platforms, new designs, and slowly but surely, I think they're bucking that convention that Chinese bikes are kind of crap, you know? Like, I've been seeing the CF Moto 675 reviews that are coming out, specifically from Michael Neves, whose opinion I trust very, very much. he said it's a good bike. That's a bike we're definitely doing as a giveaway bike this year because I want to get my own perspective on it. I want to get the bike, see what it's like. And I think the more time that goes on and the more bikes they build that are good and reliable, I don't see anything but up from them. People are going to have qualms about them being Chinese and all that, but it was the same thing that happened in the 60s and 70s when Japanese manufacturers were really coming out in force. You had holdovers from World War II. A lot of people didn't want to buy Japanese stuff, and I totally understand that. There was a lot of bad blood there because there was a literal world war about it, right? This, to me, feels similar, where we're in the early stages of Chinese automobiles and motorcycles kind of being like, okay, like these might actually be stiff competition for everybody else. I mean, the price points on these bikes are crazy, like that CF Moto 675 is, I think it's under $8,000. I mean, that's pretty nuts. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, lots of potential for CF Moto in the future. I just saw a question here on stream. RJ Lifestyle, could you do a video showing how to load a motorcycle on a U-Haul motorcycle rental trailer for 2025? I made a super comprehensive video on how to load a motorcycle up onto trailers and to trucks, so you could take a look at that. But the U-Haul one specifically has a little ramp, so you just walk it up and you can get it done from there. All right. Skalgeborg on Instagram. R9 versus 600. Okay. You guys are not going to like my opinion on this. But I'd get an R9. And here's why. It is a more modern motorcycle. It is more capable as a road machine. It makes very similar peak horsepower while making better torque. Having now owned a 600, and granted, I rode it very, very infrequently, I don't know if the 600 is always the best choice, to be honest. I think if you're cash conscious, it certainly is, right? Like, you'll get all the thrills out of a 600, and it has a very unique flavor and character. But for me personally, I don't know, like, I would definitely take a very hard, long look at an R9 versus 600, because it's just a newer thing that's got going on, right? It's a newer engine, newer platform, better electronics, cruise control, probably a better stock master cylinder, and the 600 is always going to be kind of clapped out. Maybe if you're considering versus the ZX6, but again, more torque, bigger motor, I don't know. Next to Null here says, R9 will walk a 600 an extra 5 miles per hour in top end, doesn't mean anything on track. And then Logan says, R9 just won in World Supersport. That's a very good point too, that on its debut race, it won, which is more of a testament to Yamaha than the R9, but it's all one and the same, really. Like, Yamaha has a fantastic race program. But yeah, next to Null here with a really good point, especially on track days. Like, I don't know race for race, right? Like, that might be a little harder to ascertain. But, like, having immediate torque off an apex, you're going to drive so much harder. You don't have to wait for that power to come in. You'll be at apex on brake, and then you crack it open, you're right there on that power, especially out of a nearly 900cc triple. It's going to feel really potent, Yeah, I think my choice would be R9, personally, if money was no object, right? If we're talking about, okay, like, am I going to get a $5,000 600 or a $13,000 R9? I might have to think about that a little bit, but the reliability of a brand new bike makes me feel really good. And of course, I do need to mention this every time an R9 comes up, is that I have a deposit down. As soon as they become available, I am purchasing the R9 and we're doing videos with it. Make no mistake, that is my number one mission in 2025. Everybody wants to get an R9, trust me. All right, Cody on Instagram. Do I need to focus on learning how to rev match even with the slipper clutch? So yes, you do. The reason being is that the slipper clutch is there to help facilitate reducing rear wheel lockup, right? When you don't have a slipper clutch and you don't rev match correctly, what happens is you get that kind of chattery rear wheel lockup from the clutch taking in all of the extra load from the engine immediately, right? A slipper clutch helps to ease that out a little bit. It was initially developed for racetrack usage so that people could go faster by not having to rev match as much, and you could just kind of do that cool thing where the engine just kind of takes it all, But you still need to learn how to rev match, because if you ride a motorcycle that doesn't have it and you go for downshifts like you would with the slipper clutch, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have rear wheel lockup. You're going to have, bad feelings, bad sensations out of the bike. And I've always enjoyed blipping a little bit even with the slipper clutch, because I just like the kind of perfect rev matching feeling of doing it correctly, even with the slipper clutch. But it is true that if you want to just go bonsai fast lap times, you can't just dump the slipper clutch and just let it take all the load. It doesn't sound or look as beautiful to me, if I'm being honest. I've seen really fast lap times with people doing that, and I always think, geez, that clutch is taking a lot of abuse. But those people are usually riding faster than me on track, so what the hell do I know? What the hell do I know? So yeah, I would say definitely still learn how to rev match even with the slipper clutch. I saw someone here on chat had a question. KFKW. Do a Yammie Noob on tour and come over to the UK and tour review bikes like the Hornet 1000 and R9 that's out here and see what the culture's like. P.S. Bring a jacket. That would be fun. I've actually ridden in the UK once before in London. I did a thing with Bike Shed in 2019. And I've traveled a little bit around that area, and I would love to do some riding out there. But yeah, I hear it's very wet and very not so nice most of the year. And then Danny here says that I'm going to the Isle of Man, and I am. So I'll be going out to the Isle of Man as well. So yeah, hopefully I can meet up with some fans there. That'd be a lot of fun. Anderson Arvid on Instagram. Do you have an opinion on the Stark Varg? Unfortunately, I don't have much of an opinion. The Stark Varg is an electric dirt bike that makes I think 85 horsepower, very advanced, very sophisticated. It's a little out of my wheelhouse in terms of it being like a motocross bike, a race dirt bike type of thing. Not really my forte, and it's electric. So on top of being a dirt bike, it's electric, which is also not my forte. So I will have to hold off on any opinions on the Stark Varg. I think the design language is cool and the branding looks cool, if I will say, but it's not something that I have a very strong opinion one way or the other. Jordan asks, can you ride the Isle of Man course? You can. So the Isle of Man course is actually just literally like a mountain. They call it the mountain course, I believe, on the Isle of Man. And when they're racing, they just close it all down and the racers go for it. But when they're not racing, you can just ride that road. And there's actually sections that have no speed limit, so you can just go full pin as fast as you want. And Aaron also asks, are you going to MotoGP in Austin this year? Yes, I am. I'm definitely going. Okay, Godspeed on Instagram asks, is tuning a small bike like a 300/400 worth it, or better to upgrade? It is almost universally better to just get a faster motorcycle if you're trying to just be faster on the 300 or 400cc bike. The only reason I'd recommend tuning a small bike like a 300 or 400 would be for track day usage. And I wouldn't even touch the motor, to be honest. What I would do on a 300 or 400cc bike like a Ninja 400 is suspension and tires. That's the first things I would do. I would do suspension, tires, and master cylinder. That gets you basically 90% of the way there to what you should be working on track, right? If you got really sticky tires, you have nice dialed-in suspension for your weight with proper valving. You can do these cartridge drop-in kits for the Ninja 400. You can get a different shock out back. I think we did the Franken shock out back on our race bike, but you can get a Penske triple clicker. I think you can make that work. And yeah, then get a really good master cylinder that goes direct to the front calipers. You're set. You're golden. Then that's going to be a perfect track day bike. I don't recommend, the full exhaust and the flash and the velocity stacks and the tune and the higher compression pistons and boring it out. Whatever crazy stuff you're thinking to do to the engine, save all that money. Just get the faster bike. If you're trying to get for speed, just do that. But if you're trying to tune it to handle better on track specifically, definitely do that stuff for the 400. Blue Crimson on Instagram. Is the new R3 overpriced / under-equipped? Kinda, sorta. I was a little disappointed that Yamaha basically just did a stylistic update to the R3. Didn't really give it anything new as far as I saw. I saw one in the dealership the other day, and it looks like it still has the same dash, the same frame, same engine. The headlights look a little different, and maybe the ergonomics are a little different. That's all I really saw out of the R3, and that's a bike that's getting quite long in the tooth. that same frame and engine has been around since 2015 when I bought my first one. So that 321cc parallel twin is the same since 2015. So it's kind of due for a little Etch-a-Sketch shake because, Ninja 500, CF Moto 450, 210 457, RS 457, but also 210 457. It needs to have a little bit bigger engine. But to be honest, I kind of struggle with this because, if they could get the price a little bit lower, then it fulfills a need in the market by being the cheap option, right? That looks cool. Because our bike styling always looks cool, but I think right now it is a little outgunned, a little under-equipped. I don't understand why they don't just get a baby 270. They should basically just take the MT-07 motor and just bore it down a little bit. Do the same thing that Aprilia did with the RS660 and just hit a shrink ray at the RS660 motor turned to the RS457. Even though that's not quite what they did, and they had to do a brand collaboration with Bajaj. Was it Bajaj? No. Was it? It's been a long day. With the Indian company to make the bike. So yeah, I think they need to kind of make a 270-degree crank and kind of go from there. I guess asking on chat here. Yam, have you ever rode a trike that has a steering wheel that isn't a Polaris Slingshot? I have not. I've never ridden any three-wheeled vehicle on road in my life. RJ says, Yammie, is being a certified motorcycle mechanic a good career in 2025? I would say so. I mean, it's always valuable to have a real-world skill, right? Like, I'm a big advocate for people learning how to be electricians and plumbers and tradesmen and having a tangible skill they can always come back to because that never goes out of style. Also, it's recession-proof and it's also AI-proof where you can't really have a machine take your job if you're an electrician, a plumber, a mechanic, because there's no way a machine could go in and do such fine work on things. So I think it's a pretty good path, honestly. I've heard mechanics, for me, I've always heard they kind of I don't know if it's correlation or causation, right? Where a lot of mechanics I know have jumped around a lot of different shops, and it always seems like their lives are sort of in turmoil. I don't know if that's part of being a mechanic or not. I don't know if there's a lot of turnover at places like that. I don't know if they treat their employees correctly, but I know that being a mechanic can sometimes be a little touch and go with staying at a place long term. All the successful mechanics that I've known that have long-term businesses open their own shops. So you might want to think about that, where you might get those skills to be a mechanic, maybe learn an apprentice and work for 4 or 5 years and figure it out, and then strike out on your own and open up your own shop. Maybe even being a mobile mechanic could be cool. So something to think about. Isaiah Rickley on Instagram. How do I negotiate down the purchase price of a motorcycle? Boys, how about we help Isaiah out here? We can drop some comments here, how you negotiate it down. To be honest, my negotiating tactic, other than saying I am Yammie Noob and I'll shout you out in a video, which always helps me out a little bit, because I'm just an asshole. But I think you come in at it with dealerships. It's really tough for a brand new bike that has a lot of demand. That's where you got to figure this out, right? You have much more negotiation power if the motorcycle you're trying to buy is not hot in demand, right? If it's been sitting on the lot for a long time, if it's an older model, whatever it is, you can probably negotiate it a lot down. If it's a brand spanking new model that everybody wants, you're not going to get a dime off that thing. Even for me, I've had to pay full-on sticker price, full-on horrible dealer fees for certain models that I've bought for the channel, because they were we can just turn around and we have literally a list of 20 people that want to buy this bike. So do you want it or not? And I'm I kind of need it for the videos. So there you go. But always start from a little bit lower. Basically, what I was taught when I was younger is if you don't feel slightly uncomfortable throwing your price out, it's not low enough to start the negotiation. You don't want to send out a price that's obviously not going to stick. You want to send out something a little realistic, but a little uncomfortable. I always start in that kind of 15% off ballpark, kind of 20% off ballpark, just to kind of feel what we could do, And then there's also, for new bikes, there's there's dealer fees and dock fees and all this stuff that's negotiable. People are getting crazy with freight and prep nowadays too. Depending on where you live, I've seen bill of sales that have freight and prep at like $1,800 or whatever. I'm like, what are you trying to get out of here? Is telling me that freight and prep on this bike was $1,800. So there's a lot of that stuff too. But I also think that, as Colton here says, being polite goes a long way. I've seen lots of people get really aggro, really aggressive. There's no reason for that. Let's all be sensible and civil about this. We're just trying to buy and sell motorcycles, right? Particularly if you're doing it on a Facebook Marketplace, man. Just be cool, write in complete sentences, don't be a dick, try to have some fun with it, just be nice. That's always good too. Particularly if someone's selling it as like an emotional thing, if they've owned it for a long time, try to be nice to people. So those are kind of my negotiating tactics a little bit. Good kid on YouTube. Yam, I wrecked on an R3 and want to get a Ducati V2 or a 25 Yamaha R1. Thoughts? Oh boy. Why don't we put this one to a poll? We'll put it to a poll because I think the choice is going to be clear. What's the question? All right. After riding an R3, should he get a Ducati V2 or Yamaha R1? Sure. I will say, should he upgrade? We'll say sure and hell no. I cannot think of one single legitimately good reason that you should get on a motorcycle that has 5 times the amount of horsepower after wrecking an R3. This is a crazy idea to me. Wrecking an R3 demonstrates that you were not able to correctly, I get, unless it wasn't your fault at all, but even if it wasn't your fault, I don't think jumping from a 321cc parallel twin beginner bike to a literal top shelf super bike is a good idea. And Foe on here on chat says it's rage bait. Yeah, I mean, it kind of has to be, right? Like, you're putting out something just totally insane for us to discuss. And I'm trying to take it at face value and be like, would there be any legitimate reason that you could do this upgrade? Maybe. I'm going to start sounding crazy. Okay, here's the maybes, right? Here's the possibility. Maybe this person was like 38 years old. They had their R3 for 5 years. They tracked it, they raced it, and then they were on street and somebody turned left on them. They've been saving up all their money. They're going to get a huge settlement. That's when you could get a V2 or an R1. That's the only way I could see this making sense. Otherwise, that's a hell no. Logan says 90% of R1 TikTokers made this jump. Right? This is why, I think this is why Yamaha made the R9, because they're like, we got to stop this pipeline of like R3 to death. We have a direct pipeline of like fun little peppy beginner bike to just death. Yeah, it reminds me of that guy, what's his name? Will Kid Hill? That he like looped an R1 recently and he just crashed into the back of some car with somebody else's bike too. I feel bad for the guy, but it's also like, well, clearly you're riding incorrectly at the wrong time. So let's focus a little bit. Vic says maybe he wants to be an influencer. Get that man a leader bike and flashy helmet so he can make parking lot photo shoots. Yeah, I'll never understand those edits. Adding a lot of value. All right, Mick Fenton. Africa Twin or Pan America? Well, do you want a sensible, good, value-driven adventure bike that has ample reliability, pedigree, great name, good looks? Or do you want a goddamn Harley Davidson? I would 100% go for the Africa Twin. It's like $9,000 cheaper, some crazy shit like that. And it's not a freaking Harley. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I think the Africa Twin is more light on its feet, a little more peppy. The Pan America's a good bike though, but yeah, I think it's pretty clear the Africa Twin is the right choice there. Sean, TikTok influencers. That's how I sound sometimes, man. I swear. Rico said, "Ooh, is it the guy that crashed the ZX-10?" And yes, it was the lime green ZX-10RR. He backed it up into a car. He wasn't paying attention. It wasn't even his bike. And then yeah, he looped an R1 on the highway. And people are like, "You're my goat." Like, I love this. This is great. Really weird stuff. Really weird stuff. RJ said, "Yam, how do you feel about motorcycle YouTuber driving 190 miles per hour on the highway and posting it?" I'll never understand people like posting blatant crimes. Like, it's one thing to post a video where like you're riding and you maybe hit like 100, 110 for a little bit on the highway. Nobody's going to do anything about that. But to post like felony grade speeding, like go to jail instantly speeding on the internet, it's like, why would you do that? I just don't understand the thought process there. Oh my God. Min Kant here on chat with the real rage bait. R3 or Ninja 300 or Ninja 400. Do not do that to me. I've been answering that question for 7 years. Don't do that to me. Logan said, Turbo Boost Yam Circa 2021. Hey, that was all allegedly, man. That wasn't me on the bike. What is the biggest gap that needs to be filled in the motorcycle market right now, asks Devin Leslie on YouTube. The biggest gap that needs to be filled in the motorcycle market right now. To be honest, manufacturers are almost getting too good at this, where every niche is getting like filled in almost immediately. Anywhere they can find to create a slightly new category is getting filled in. I personally think that the new super sport category, the kind of 120-ish horsepower, 8 to 900 cc super sport range, R9 and Ducati V2, those are the two big ones right now. Kind of comfortable, sporty enough on track, all that jazz, right? That's a category that I think needs at least 2 more bikes in it. I don't even know if the KTM RC 990 is going to be made, because KTM is insolvent, right? So I'd love to see Suzuki make a new super sport bike in that category. Kawasaki, maybe. I think that would be my gap that I'd like to fit. Let's move on to the next question, shall we? Oh, that's the end of them. Let's see if we had anyone else on here. Danny said, ratting on yourself is influencer shite. Yeah, I mean, dude, they'll post these videos where, like, literally in the video, you can see that it's them. It's, like, legitimately incriminating. There's one guy, though, that does crazy top speed runs, but he's, like, very intelligent about the way he posts it. What's his name? Crash Test Goat. I've seen this guy's videos, and I'm like, you can tell he's an older dude who's done this for a long time because of how careful he is with how he posts things. I'm sure he's probably got like a server in Thailand that uploads it on his behalf through like some crazy encrypted IP or whatever, and then there's no incriminating footage anywhere. I don't know. There must be a way, because people have been posting crazy stuff to the internet for a long time without getting caught. But I mean, these freaking new riders, man, they're just posting it straight out of their phones. I'm like, dude, you know they can find your phone, right? Like, bro, you know that they can literally ping your phone's location from your video because you showed your phone. It's so crazy. Anyways, that's how they got Jixerbra. They pinged him from the gas station. They like geolocated him. They had the CCTV footage from the gas station. I'm like, dude, if they want to catch you, they will catch you. Don't post incriminating stuff. Get a low profile, baby. Low profile. Anyways, that was the question and answer portion. Again, join on YammieNoob.co, get the Discord server. It's a lot of fun. Let's move on, shall we? Let's keep it rolling. Bike roast or boast? Valentino Rossi in front of a Roo-Rock helmet. Lord have mercy, did I want to make a video about the Roo-Rock helmet situation with Chase on Two Wheels channel, but spoke with the Yammie Noob team about it, and they were like, don't do it. Don't choose violence. And I was like, all right, I won't choose violence. People clowned him enough in the comments section, but yeah, that whole situation is very funny to me. Shills are going to shill, man. Shills are going to shill. Let's keep it rolling here. Amaterasu on Discord. It says, howdy, Yammers. Amaterasu.r6 with my 2024 R1. We just talked about R1s on the stream, boys. Just talked about it. Been riding for almost 5 years. Spent time on the previous, on 3600s. Finally decided to spoil myself and upgrade to a leader bike. Fun road bike since I'm in DFW, but since I spent the last half of this season getting completely comfortable, I plan on shooting for 2 to 4 track days next season. There will be some additional add-ons for performance and aesthetics, but this is how she sits. Full custom fairing kit from ABS Fairings, SC CRT exhaust, Graves block-offs, modified OEM filter. The block-off is a great mod to do on the R1. Ooh, it's kind of like a purple and black situation. So one thing that I think is absolutely crazy about the R1 is this design language largely debuted about 10 years ago. Still looks good, dude. Still looks good, baby. This R1 still looks good. Now, this is the slightly updated one because they updated the headlights a little bit and changed it, but it's functionally the same design. Yeah, you know what's funny is I think DFW is a great place to own a leader bike because there's nowhere fun to ride other than highway. So it's like, yeah, just get a stupidly powerful motorcycle and just go fast on the highway because there legitimately is no other fun riding to do. Yeah, so I think it's kind of like, why else would you do that? So it looks like the fairing, I thought it was like a color morphing thing. I think it's like half pink down the middle here. And then there's like a fun little splashy thing on the front of the fairing there. Looks like something dangling there. The SC Project exhaust on these sound really good. They're just like an open-ass pipe, basically. Open-ass pipe. Maybe just an open pipe. And the block-offs make it so you don't get the super crazy, burbly, crackly thing. You get a little bit of it because natural, but not a ton. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little R1. I'm trying to think of how to roast it a little bit. But I think the only way I can is I don't think these lights are stock. I think it just has these lights, and I think that looks a little bit better in my just delectable opinion that everyone cares about so much. It's a good-looking bike, though. R1s still look good, man. And they sound good, too. They're sweet. They're sweet rides, dude. They're sweet rides. Rico says they're going for the cherry blossom thing. Yeah, they are. It's pretty cool. I like it. Okay, moving on. Johnny Blaze 001. My 2018 MT10, a.k.a. The Beast. Let's take a look. Ooh, very nice. Stock muffler with mid-pipe delete, it looks like. This is an interesting mod. I've seen people do this sometimes. I think, because that looks a little strange right there in the middle. I think he deleted the bread box here and then just like made a pipe go straight out to the back. Because I think these have a servo that makes them quieter. So you kind of get the best of both worlds if you do that. I think if you get them tuned and do this, they would work well. I'd have to ask him about that, but I'm not so sure. Ooh, he's got the carbon fiber all over it. That looks pretty cool. Damn, 2018 was, how long ago was that? 7 years ago? God damn. That's crazy that was that long ago. Because I was like, oh, it's like a newer MT10. I'm like, not really anymore, you know? This is one generation back now, 2018. Damn, man, time flies. That's crazy. Colton says, why neon yellow wheels? They don't fit the look. This is actually how they came stock. This was the paint scheme for the 2018 model years for this one. Yamaha would do these like acid wheels. So I think it's pretty sweet. Never did like this Decepticon look in the front. I was never a fan. But these are such good bikes, though. You can't hate them, honestly. You can't. The Yamaha simping is too strong in today's episode. We got another Yamaha. Let's see here. Hello, Yam. This is my 1998 Yamaha FZR 600 from Zappy Halo that I've been restoring for a couple of months now. I've been riding a 1991 EX500 for a little over a year. And I found this little gem on Facebook Marketplace. Excuse me. For $300 with a title. I had to do a full restoration, and I really learned a ton about old bikes, and I know you dislike carbs, so I made sure to get a bike with 4. It's not that I dislike carbs, I just prefer not to have them. I had to buy new fairings as the previous owner crashed it, and they decided to spray paint all over the thing, so I decided to give it a custom paint job based on the old Yamaha liveries, and it didn't turn out too bad. Oh, he's very humble, isn't he? Very humble. What a good-looking bike. Look at this. Look at this. This guy's a true enthusiast. He's got bunch of fun old things back here. Look at that. I like it. I like it. Is this the 50th anniversary speed block paint job? Is this Kenny Roberts? If memory serves me correctly? Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure this is the Kenny Roberts speed block 70s. They made for a very limited time. They had a yellow R1 in a similar speed block yellow like this with bronze wheels. Oh my God. You guys know me in yellow bikes. I don't know why I think they're the coolest things ever. But the yellow R1, look it up if you don't believe me. Look up yellow R1 bronze wheels. You'll find it. It's so sweet. Colton says, now that's a nice yellow. Come on, they're all nice yellows. Look at the cockpit right here. That's great. He's got the little send it key tag. I love the dual analog clock right here. I love old school fairings like this. Just look great. What is this? A 1990? Oh, look, the double headlight front is so great. We have a new T-shirt design coming out that has this same look. It's super cool. This is back when they used to run ram air through the frame right there. You guys see that? You have the little scoop right here, little tube going down in there. That was super popular with lots of older bikes in the 90s. They'd have the little scoop through the fairing, or through the fairing and the frame. So, yeah. Yeah, really sweet bike, man. It's aged really well for 1998. Most 1998 bikes don't look this cool, honestly. They really don't. Danny says, Yam, when does the 90 sport bike come in with that twin light? People have been asking about that. They want me to do more classic bikes. Maybe we'll get around to that at some point. That could be kind of fun. It's always such a treat to ride an older motorcycle because you just realize how much progress we've made in 30 years with bikes. They've gotten a lot better. All right, moving on. Sleeve McDykel. Funny name. This is my 1992 Honda Helix. Hey! Honda Helix, baby! I did a whole review on that. I love the Helix. Bought it back for $500 off Facebook Marketplace. Has been restoring it. Couple things left to do. $800 or so into it, replacing the body plastics, adding a luggage rack, stripped it down to the frame, fixed the seized parking brake, replaced the drive belt and the variator weights, reupholstered the seats, new wind style, new modern style tires, LED light. Man, this guy's done it all. I've been using it to commute 20 miles to work. Rides great for a 244cc scooter. It does surprisingly well. Topped out at 81. Comfortably cruises 85 or 70, 75. Let's take a look at this thing. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, respect the slab. Respect the slab. Ow, Lord, it looks like a shoe. It's so good. Oh, my buddy Brandon has a white one that I reviewed. That's the one I did the review on. So much fun on that motorcycle, man. I had such a blast. That and riding around with Garrett Gerloff on his scooter really made me want to get a scooter. I was like, I totally understand. Who said, look at that seat? Yeah, look at that. Look at this seat. Worn by time, enjoyed by many, understood by few. Very nice. Yeah, this is truly kind of like an enthusiast vehicle, you know? Like most people would look at this and be like, oh, what a dumpy little scooter. But it's like, you don't have taste. You don't understand. You don't get it. Yeah, so good, dude. I like the LED light. Kind of like a Jeep kind of vibe to it. Look at this thing, man. 80s Honda just hit different, dude. 80s Honda was a next level type of stuff, man. Next level. It's just so friendly, so sweet. Does anything, still going out. It's fantastic. Refrigicheese on Discord. Hey, Yam, picked up this 2007 Honda Hornet 919. I've been loving it ever since. Oh, man. Honda Hornet 919, 2007, dude. What a good vintage. Lots of fun stories about that. Tell you guys in a bit. Had a few things that needed to be changed and whatnot since older guy who owned it didn't ride much, besides a bit of sputtering from the wrong spark plugs. It's been amazing. Done a few mods like a 900RR exhaust. That's a common one. LED headlight, Renthal bars, rear fender delete, some turn signals. Barely touched when I bought it for $4,750 with 30. Oh my God, this guy got the steal of a lifetime. He bought a 919 off an old guy that had 3,400 miles on it for $4,750. Boys, let's... Absolute Sigma move, dude. Absolute Chad level move. That's perfect. Have had no problems with it, and it's more than I asked for coming from a 2000 Carb GS 500E. Love the videos. Thank you for the content. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. Wow. So clean, dude. All right, so... Honda Hornet. Let me tell you a little bit about this bike. This model was the very first motorcycle I did as a giveaway bike, the infamous Hentai Hornet. The reason I did that was because the boys over on Discord back in 2018, October of 2018, they voted on that one, and that's the one they found they wanted me to go buy. That was the first bike I ever did as a giveaway. I did a bunch of fixes and changes to that bike. I got it running well after I took it to a shop because I had no clue what I was doing. And one of the coolest things was that one of the big reasons this bike was chosen was because Spite, who used to be on the Discord before he started working at Yammie Noob, had a cherry red 919 just like this. This looks just like the one he had. And they just, I don't know, they have a really cool charm about them. We repurchased the Honda Hornet 919, the Hentai Hornet, in 22. And then we restored it. We ended up making it cherry red, just like this one. We got, excuse me, we got the last red OEM gas tank for that motorcycle in all of America. We found the last one, and we put it on that bike, and it was super cool. And it actually ended up being a giveaway bike, so I hope it's enjoying its new home and loving life. And yeah, lots of cool stories with the 919. It's a really, really cool bike, man. They just work really well. They have such a nice character to them. They are like modern enough to where you can really just enjoy them trouble-free and love them, but also kind of old school enough to where they have a lot of charm and flavor about them. They're really, really cool. Really cool bikes. This one's beautiful. I don't have a single thing to say about it that's wrong. We did the same 900RR mod on ours. The pipe sat kind of low on it like this. Really, really cool bike, though. Really, really sweet ride. So good job for buying it off an old guy for $4,750 when it had like 3,200 miles on it. You got the deal of a lifetime. That's beautiful. Beautiful job. I hope you keep it. I hope you treasure it and enjoy it. Tofu Tim on Discord. Excellent username. Hey, y'all. This is my 2013 CBR 600RR. I bought this in November 21 on the first nice day of spring. I rode about 30 minutes home. Woke up the next day and saw it was stolen. Oh, no. Since I still had it on winter insurance, I didn't get a penny for it. Fast forward a little over 2 years later, and I get a call from my detective in Michigan, and he's got my bike. Turns out some kid traded his Ninja plus $2,000 for it, but when he had the police run the VIN and it came back stolen, the dude who had my bike absolutely abused it. Rear tire was burnt, radiator was JB Weld, and the dude straight piped it. I spent a weekend and a couple $100 getting it back to a respectable machine. Enjoy the before and after. Wow, what a story. Ooh, was this the before? This looks like some crackhead grabbed it. Oh, yeah, that's horrible. So yeah, he put this disgusting sticker on it after he stole it. He put crackhead exhaust on it, just straight piped it, just did burnouts with it. This now looks like a bike that you'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy that, you know? Ugh. Ew. What a crazy story that they found it 2 years later. That's fantastic. And I think this is the after. Yeah, we got the stock pike back on there. New Michelin Pilot Road Tire Sport Touring. He's a smart boy. Very, very good. Man, it looks a lot better. So sad to see a bike stolen and then just done stupid things with it, you know? Glad somebody found it, though, and ran the VIN and saw that it was stolen. So was it at a dealership? Turns out some kid traded his Ninja plus $2,000 for it, but when he had the police run the VIN, it came back stolen. Oh, so he bought it privately from the guy. But how did he buy it privately without a title? Did the dude get like a bonded title or something? Or maybe he just bought it without a title on it. I don't know. That's pretty crazy, though. But yeah, this CBR definitely got saved, as Mike mentioned here on chat. All right, Neek FPV. Hey, Papa Yam, this is my swapped 2018 Ninja 400. Stuffed the engine out of a 2016 Ninja 650 into it. Painted and tuned the bike, making 75 horsepower at the wheel and weighing in at 373 pounds. This is what the bike should have felt like from the factory, in my opinion. Very fun. Okay. I have never heard of anyone doing this or thinking about doing this. I mean, massive respect to shoehorning the 650 engine into there. This is crazy. I didn't think this. I have so many questions about this. It looks like. Okay, let's take a look at this bike. First of all, it looks really clean, really well done. Good execution. Does not look like some backyard project. Somebody who really knew what they were doing did this. So we have a tuned 650 engine that makes 75 ponies at the wheel, dyno tuned, I guess. This is pretty crazy. I wonder if he did, because you've increased the weight quite a bit. So if it weighs 373 pounds, I think a stock Ninja 400 weighs like 340, 330, something like that. So you've increased the weight quite a bit, but you've made more power. I would love to see if it's meaningfully faster. You did add like 30-something horsepower to it, though, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, this thing's a kind of an interesting bike. This would be a really funny bike to take to like CMRA and race with, because it functionally looks like a Ninja 400. I don't think anybody would second guess that it has a 650 motor in it. You could probably ride this and kind of like, you know, it'd be so much faster than all the 400s. You could like keep a little bit in reserve, and then when it's time, just like squeeze the gas more and just like pass people. That would be really funny. It'd also be funny to use at a track day against other 400s. That would be really fun. But excellent job. Very nice. Very well done. I have the same fan and the same storage bins. That's so strange. But I guess we all buy things from Amazon. Yeah, this guy looks like he's got a cool shop in the back. I see lots of bikes, lots of other things. Very nice. Very nice, my friend. All right. I am half sack on Discord. 2024 Suzuki GSX 8R, my first bike. Let me know what you think, Papa Yam. It's got 2,000 miles on it. Well, I do like the GSX 8R quite a bit. It's a teensy bit milquetoast for me. When I wrote it, I was kind of like, well, you know, like the 8R is a funny bike because it kind of does everything pretty okay, and we need bikes like that in the marketplace. It's kind of an old school do anything motorcycle, you know. So this one's pretty cool. I do love the blue paint job on this one. I got mine in yellow because, of course, I got a yellow bike, but the blue looks cool, man. Suzuki blue, can't go wrong. Although, to be honest, this blue is a little darker than the usual Suzuki blue, but they've kind of changed the X-Star livery and some of the other stuff. I still think, to this day, that the 2022, yeah, that's when they left. The 2022 final Suzuki MotoGP bike was one of the most beautiful MotoGP bikes ever created. If you guys remember the exhaust on that thing, the way it was cut, oh my God, dude, that Suzuki was wild. And then they were winning races towards the end, and then they got the project. There's a universe in which Suzuki continued in MotoGP, and none of the calamities in the universe that's happening now would be happening. I swear that's when things really broke. People say that it's Harambe. It was when Suzuki left MotoGP. I really believe that. I really do. All right, Mala on Discord. Hey, Yam, picked up an MV F3RR for birthday/Christmas, and I'm loving it. Currently at the shop getting a full Termia system installed along with velocity stacks. We'll be getting a dyno tuned in about a week. Next to it is my Dragster Double R. Ooh, he's an MV Augusta simp. Wow, these are such good-looking motorcycles. These are such good-looking bikes. Can we just take a moment? Oh, man, MV makes some really sexy machines, huh? Good Lord. Single-sided swing arm, triple exhaust out the back. It's just the shapes and the cutouts. Man, MV makes a great bike. I had the beautiful chance to take out a F3 800. Was it the RC edition in 2020? Super, super nice. This one's beautiful. Oh my God, this bike is so nice. Oh, they got the full color TFT now. They updated that. It used to be like a LCD display. God, MVs are just gorgeous. We got some really like low light, cool garage shots, but I'd like to see more of it. I see some carbon fiber here, maybe, probably. I wish that MVs were more reliable, dude. I wish that parts availability for them were a little bit more normal. But God, they're so cool. They're so cool, man. Yeah, but the way that I ride my motorcycles, I could never justify an MV Agusta. I just beat the crap out of my bikes too much. There's no way I could own something so pretty. It's just so pretty. All right, Danielle on Discord. Don't really add much. Recently crashed, but we're still running. Bike and I know how you feel about Underglow. Rate my R7. Yeah, I don't. Oof. Okay, let's take a step back. I see the Underglow. I see the Insta 360. I see the super edgy shot here. You're young. You're having fun. I think that's great. I think it's cool to enjoy yourself. I think it's nice, you know? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But is it to my taste as a grown-ass man with a daughter and a wife and a family and a house and stuff? No, I couldn't quite justify something like this, you know? But, you know, I think if you're having fun, that's what counts, right? If you're enjoying it, you're having fun, that's all that matters, dude, really. Don't let some curmudgeonly, not even middle-aged YouTube guy tell you how to feel, you know? Don't let him tell you how to feel. I just saw that the results for the poll were 53% hell no. You guys are advocating for that guy to upgrade from an R3 to a R1 or a V2. What the hell's wrong with you? All right, boys, that wraps up the bike roast or boast. A ton of fun. And now, a final segment of the show, motorcycle trivia. Let's get into it. For what years did Harley-Davidson produce the shovelhead engines? All right, this one I think I know. I don't know the specific. I'm gonna get the specific years wrong, but I'm gonna get close. Shovelheads were from, I want to say, let's say 52 until 68. Let's go. Oh, 66 to 84. That's right. I know why. Because in 84, they went to the Evo motor and they changed it. So yeah, the shovelhead was that one before. Okay, I was a little wrong. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Harley-Davidson trivia, not my forte. But we're going to keep it rolling. What motorcycle created the first... what company created... A motorcycle can't create anything. What motorcycle... Oh my God. What company created the first motorcycle wind tunnel in 1950? Interesting. Look at this. They've got the building here, and they've got the expansion joints, the flow, the coolness. This is a really cool diagram here. I'm gonna guess that in 1950, it must have been a company looking for race results. Was it MV Agusta? Moto Guzzi. And look, it's the Odo. That's the Odo Cylindri. That's the 8-cylinder bike they made in the 60s, I think, that like constantly wanted to kill people. Insane motorcycle. This thing had an 8-cylinder making like upwards of 100 horsepower on those tires. Crazy. Crazy. Danny said Moto Guzzi. You got it right, my friend. I'm 2 for 2. In what year did Italian law prevent motorcycles of 125cc or less from going on the highway? I'm going to guess that because of the photo that's relatively old, and I know that highway expansion in Europe happened a lot after, well, it happened during World War II, depending on what side you were on, because Hitler's Germany did a lot of Autobahn expansion and highway expansion. But Italians, did Mussolini get in on that too? I don't know, maybe. The vision of the automobile peeling down the street on these big Autobahns was hot back then, very fascistic. I'm getting lost in the weeds here. Let's say 1955. Oh, 58. I was pretty close. This led MV Agusa to develop the 150 RS. This 10-horsepower motorcycle had a higher top speed than a Fiat 500 at the time. Sick. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love it. Ooh, question. Name the vehicle shown above. Okay. That looks like a Piaggio. Oh my God. You see those in Europe everywhere, the little three-wheeled leaning things. The Piaggio, God, I don't remember the name of it, but I'm going to get half of it correct here. We're going to go just Piaggio blank. Let's see. Oh my God, I got it wrong. Gilera Fuoku. And then producer Logan said, I don't know. In my defense, they make a lot of these things, and that is a hideous looking thing. Malamoto said the bear. Dude, I was going to say that. I was going to say the Piaggio bear. I don't know. I really thought of that, but I didn't say it. Which motorcycle used a bigger engine, the BMW Scarver or the BMW Funduro? Man, there were some crazy BMW products in the early 2000s and late 90s, huh? What were they smoking over there in Germany? We did get a special request here. Robert said, Papa Yam, can you wish my brother Rob Ryers happy birthday? Rob, happy birthday. Hope it's a good one. Another year round the sun, you beautiful bastard. All right, which motorcycle used a bigger engine, the BMW Scarver or the I think they both used like a 650 or something like that. I'm going to guess the Funduro because it's a trick question. People are saying Scarver. I don't know, dude. I feel like the Funduro. Oh, look at that. Trick question. They both used... Did I not just say, aren't they both 650s? I need to just trust my gut when Dude, I have the motorcycle knowledge inside of me. I need to trust my gut. Need to just trust my gut, bro. Question. How many Hayabusas have been sold since 1998? This is a classic god-tier Busa image that I've seen so many times. The triple Busa. Literally makes no goddamn sense, and I love it so much. Boys, how many Busas do you think have been sold since 1999? How many could possibly be sold? How many could really be sold? Let's think. What would be reasonable? What would be reasonable? It's a large displacement motorcycle, but we're talking mid-2000s where they sold a ton of bikes. They sold so many bikes in the American market specifically. People are saying 200,000, 500,000, 10,000 is way too low. It's way too low. It's somewhere between like 30,000 to 80,000, I think. I'm going to say they've sold 60,000 Busas since 1999. Oh my God! Suzuki claims nearly 300,000 Hayabusas. Fucking hell. That's so many more. Hey, Street Squid got it right. 300,000. Probably Googled it. 300K. Holy mackerel. That's insane. That's crazy. That's legitimately crazy that they've sold that many. Well, boys, we've reached the end of the show. 7:03 p.m. gave you an hour's worth of entertainment there. I hope you guys appreciated it. Hope you had some fun. We have a really, really good sweepstakes ending on the website, by the way. Street Triple ends this week, and then I'll break the news for you right here on the week following. Not the next week, but the week after that. I think it's March 10th. Brand new MT-07 launching as a giveaway bike. Head over to AimDeco, become a member. It's a good time. I'm on the Discord. It's a ton of fun, especially if you like talking about racing and MotoGP. Your boy's on there. So, boys, have a good one. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.